not very secure. I can guarantee the first time you need to access the rear USBs and you just naturally try to move the whole machine to get a better reach, the stand will fall out of place. And it seems like right now, a lot of people don't realize that you need the stand in the first place. The console doesn't sit flat for this orientation. And that's new for a lot of people who expect to set it and forget it like they always do with consoles. So as elegant as I think PS5 looks, it's potentially problematically underformed. And again, I actually do like this a lot, but glossy black plastic is the weakest material out there. You can try as hard as you can, but this will collect micro scratches very easily. And something I've noticed with PS5s out of the box is that the light strip is susceptible to breaking up the continuous line. So you can see on my main unit here that it has two cracks where there is a noticeable tiny fracture in the strip. These are just a handful of smaller things that end up with the console feel a little less premium. So one of the coolest things is that the giant white panels are removable very easily. It just takes some careful prying, no screws at all. This doesn't even avoid this is what you would do in the event that you want to install an additional M2 drive. Not only does this make it super easy to maintain the console,
so how do I want to do this? I want to say,
but this allows consumers to easily customize their own plates. So if it's the white color that bothers you, painting or dipping the shells is a great alternative.
Canceled. Courier exists.
At first glance, the DualSense seems like a radical departure for PlayStation controllers. After all, this is the one area where the company has broken up their naming continuity. But when looking back, the DualShock 4 is still considered the revolution from DualShock 1 through 3. The DualSense now feels like a natural, albeit more bold and aggressive evolution from the outgoing model. You still have a touchpad, a share button, which is now named the Create button, and a more subtle light bar which accents well around the touchpad. Though these things realistically have to be brought forward for reliable backwards compatibility.
And what is that going to return?
Dramatically complicate matters. And while the light bar isn't needed to
have a
it's likely here to avoid any issues with PS4 software
request ID.
By altering the colors. Either way, this controller feels like a distant but very stylish cousin of the DualShock 4. Just to run down more of the changes, the controller is a bit bulkier, similar to Microsoft's pads. The buttons are transparent. There is no longer a gap between R1, L1, and R2 and L2. That's a first for PlayStation. Battery size on paper is a 50% increase over DualShock 4. We've got USB-C for charging.
That's going to return
there's haptic feedback vibrations.
Courier
and adaptive triggers
ID
that can create tension and resistance when pushing them down.
option.
In hand, the DualSense is hefty and well built, so much so that it feels like a dramatic quality jump from DualShock 4. Spend enough time with this, then grab the DualShock 4. It's amazing just how cheap that will feel now compared to the DualSense.
Okay.
Quality alone is great, but comfort can be more subjective. The larger size
Cancel courier exists. Picks the request ID. This will be called our. How do you want to do this?
Right now, Sony's preloaded free game Azure is the only title that will really demonstrate what these features can do.
This is going to be a sync.
DualSense can give off vibrations that have a level of presence and weight. Where traditional rumble is two-weighted motors, this utilizes actuators that can be more fine-tuned from the developer's perspective. In Astro, that's demonstrated with subtle tapping as you walk across sand. Or very slight but prolonged vibrations scanning on ice.
Sync.
Or perhaps an aggressive sensation felt from just
Should be a sync result, right? Then courier ID option. Elsa. Error description. Like that. Something like that. And so this can probably be a list or a sequence, because there could be multiple couriers that cancel.
Combine this with the haptic feedback, it creates a unique symmetry that we just haven't really seen before. Astro was designed around showcasing all these features, and it does very well, but it's also somewhat exaggerated.
Hey, observer.
Azure has, but it is the benchmark and even inspiration for other developers to reference.
Okay.
A handful of PS5
So
games
now
so
what?
far have used these features in a more subtle manner, but there's plenty of good examples
We
so
want
far. There is
to
always the worry that these features
we want to
may become
query.
spurious and the launch game. But right now, there's a lot more to enjoy with these versus,
Now there's
say,
a query
the
over
introduction
here.
in 2013 or, say, 6-axis in 2006. There is a wow factor here the first time you put the DualSense to its thing.
You
So while
wanna
it's still on developers to really take advantage of these features, what's there is really exciting and genuinely fun to use. It is worth pointing out, though, that if for whatever
how do we want to
reason
do this?
the feature turned off, you can do so in seconds.
This courier service has an orchestrate that will
The PS5's user interface is completely new and built to leverage the incredibly fast SSD.
get
Quick
entities.
breakdown, like PS4, your home screen will show a horizontal
No, we
row of
don't care about
applications,
that.
except this time around, your games and streaming apps are separated, so you can hit R1 or L1 to swap between them. The PlayStation Store is on the far left, and it's built right into the UI. It's not an application you launch; all the content is loaded in and ready to go. So
Probably
you can start right away. The same is true for things like claiming your PS Plus games or using PlayStation Now.
This
You don't launch anything; it's just there. The far right will show
this
you your
find
game
is
library. This is
only
the
going to find a single
It's
entity.
also worth pointing out that for pretty much all these pages, you have sorting options or tabs that give you a better breakdown.
We could do find entities.
If that's not enough, the main home screen has a search icon.
So what does that mean?
That will let you search
Means something like
the option for settings is also in the top right, alongside your avatar icon. So things like your profile, trophies, switching users, things like that. The main interaction and navigation feature that you're using is called the control center. This is sort of like the quick menu on PS4 or even the XMB that sat above the icons on PS4.
given
You can summon these settings pretty much anywhere on the console. One tap of the PS5 brings this up.
given a partition
Access the switcher,
key.
notifications, friends, music, quick settings, devices, power, all sorts of stuff. On top of the control
It'll
center,
give you, and our partition key is the request ID, right? For couriers canceled.
Working towards, they could be recent screenshots, official game news, or they could be points of interest in the game. And this is where you can actually switch.
So this table operation that you retrieve, it wants both a partition key and a row key, but I'm just interested in just all entries, right? Which probably should be get entities. Which we have this thing called query. And it's getting, yeah, that's not what we want. So, let's see. Azure storage, tables, and we want to query partition key. And that's it. That's all we want. We don't care about the row key. It looks like we're using a filter. So it looks like there's filters in here. I don't know why this mesh case is always defaulted. So we can take something like, there we go. Take this whole thing right here. And for find entities, we can we can get rid of all this. Okay. Should be able to say this right here. Now, it doesn't know what a cloud table is. This ensure exists gives us a cloud table. It also requires a connection. No. We already have our cloud table right here. But we call it a storage table. I want to be consistent with my naming conventions. All right, no overloads match for SQL query async. How do I do this? They're all table queries, right? Table query. No, it's not. My query equal, and then say partition filter here. And then we drop query in here. I think that should be the way it works. The name of the entity is career. Oh, okay, this is good. Career council entity. Okay. Now what? We have a result. Now, how do I actually do this? Result.results. Okay. And that provides a list. All right. So we can call this result a response. So then we can say response.results, which is going to be a list of canceled couriers. And then we can map that. And what am I really doing? We should just return, this is, there's issues with this method. Anything that does, yeah, this is all messed up, dude. Anything that does out of process computation should return success or failure. And if it's successful, then it returns the result. Try with EX goes to, say, return error, then EX dot get base exception dot message, something like that. Something like that. Okay. Hey, GZB, how are you? So that's the way it should be, right? I have a feeling I'm going to spend the next 15 minutes cleaning all this stuff up now. Same thing with this. There should be a try, and then a with. I guess I could do some copy paste right here. Okay. And we should have a, okay, we should return a okay, and then the results that's supposedly piped to T. I'm not sure how this works. I'm good. How are you? I'm doing okay. I'm struggling to make time to make progress. This whole COVID thing, I'm used to like going to like a Starbucks or a Panera Bread, sitting in and knocking off like a couple hours. I have a lot of distractions at home now, and it's becoming challenging to like maintain discipline and commit to like, you know, 2 to 4 hours of completing tasks for this passion project. So it's just something I'm just cognizant of. All right, what am I doing now? Return okay results. I feel like I have to. No, maybe not. The thing is I don't want this to be a generic list. I want this to be a. Let's do something real fast. Let's say let entity. I can't spell entities. Let entities equal, and then we can do a response dot results, and then we can do a sequence dot map. And then say function. This V will go to a. It should really just be a. It should be like sequence dot cast, right? Sequence dot. Is there a cast? That's going to return a sequence. And we're going to cast that to T. Not sure how this really works, but I want to do something like that. say one easy way to break through artist block is to not eat until something is done. It's super easy for me. Never considered that. Usually when I'm at a Starbucks or a Panera Bread, I just, I don't know if the word is forage, but I just keep feeding my face as I'm working, and that's my reward system. Is instant gratification. I'll like once every like maybe hour and a half, I'll go back and munch on or drink something else that I order from the counter, and that keeps me content. I'm gonna do a cast. This cast uses an IEnumerable, and it returns a type. So I feel like I don't need this. To sequence. I feel like I have to, because right now it's just a sequence of objects. But the results is a courier cancel entity. How do I do a sequence.cast? Hold up. Let me see. Sequence.cast. We say F sharp sequence.cast. How does this work? Cast. By using sequence.cast, you can create a sequence from a weekly typed collection. How do you use this? Yeah, there's no second argument. It's not clear to me how this is. I know one thing. I need a sequence of. I guess I would do a sequence.map, and then I would do a function v goes to, and then I would do a v dot something like this, and then it would be a courier cancel entity. I think that's the way it would. Not. Am I still doing entity? I guess I am. This test or downcast will not always hold. Go do that. This is okay. Not necessarily identical. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing, dude. What do I just say? Sequence.map, and I just say this right here. No. Okay. Well, hell's bells. I don't know how to accomplish this. Right now, it's, you know what? I guess at the end of the day, they're all IEnumerable, right? Even though that this is a generic.list, it's still IEnumerable. So it's still a sequence. I can still use sequence operations on it. So maybe that's fine. And if that is fine, then I guess that's it, right? Because this results is either going to be empty or it's going to have elements in it. Yeah, I think that's it. Come here. Let me see. You said, okay, you didn't say anything back. How's everything with you, GZB? What have you been up to? Let's put some breakpoints there and put a breakpoint here. All right. So I did this within the scope of a courier service, right? Find entities, but it's really, I just did that so I could dump it over here. Is this create? It's supposed to be like, yeah, courier dispatch. These are all topics though. It's the wrong one. Hold up. Azure. What is it called? Azure Table Ops. and these are topics. This isn't right. That's wrong. Azure. It should be Azure Topic Ops, maybe. Do that. Okay. Then what? I need to find. Oh, here's a query right here. Hold up. Yeah. So I should be able to. I need to introduce. No, that's not right. Hold up. All these are. Hold up. All these are like calling other services. It seems like that's not right either. Where's the right module for me to dump this at? It's table operations right here. Create, update, get events on count, get events. Okay, it looks like it's this right here. Okay. So you have find entity and then you have find entities. Let's use consistency in regards to our names. Okay. Anything else about storage table? I don't see it. All right. So let me see. This career cancel entity, I got to define somewhere. We go into our specification folder, spec library, and for language, we need to add. This is maps over here. We need to add a, well, that's not in spec. Hold up, that's in. Do I want to create a record for that? Or do I just want to leave it as an entity? Give me a second. Hold up. Do I just do control? No. Where's entities? There's entity mapper. Active courier is a record. Subscribe courier is a record. It's not mapping anything. Hold up. Where do I have entities stored at? Hold up. There should be something called like a table entity. Table entity. Here we go. So there's a, yeah, we're over here. It's in my table operations. I feel like I should separate the entities from there. Uh-oh. So go back and find my career cancel entity, which doesn't really have anything in there. Go back over here and just do that. Okay. Control Shift B. What else? What else? Everything builds. So this table operations, control them all, find entities, what we want to call now, and it will be a courier cancel entity. So if I go back to my courier dispatch, canceled courier exists, and I want to do something like find entities, in which I think I put in this career cancel entity. And then for my arguments, the partition key is a request ID. And it wants a cloud table as the second argument, which means that I have to probably get that from calling ensure exists and then passing in the connection string and then the table name. So I say match ensure exists, and then it wants the connection string. How do I get the connection string? Oh, it's up here. Okay. And so I say connection string, and then the other one is the table name, right? So I have something like table, and I thought it was called like careers canceled or something. How does this work? Is it called career cancel? Maybe that's what the name of the table is. So you do something like this. Let's see if left any other comments. Nope. Hold up. Oh, okay. Am I reading this right? Oh yeah. Okay. So, so you say match with, and this should first, be a result of error message is going to be a return error message, right? But then if it is successful, then we have our value that we're going to, it should be like enumerable. Okay, something's missing right now. Oh, it's our cloud table in here, right? So cloud table. And then we should say something like cloud table. How does this work? Is cloud table the last? Yeah. So I should be able to do something like this, right? Like that. And that is going to then have a result. So I should be able to say match, because that's async, and then say with, and almost positive I have to wrap this in the async block, but we'll try to go with it for right now. We'll have a error message that, and this will probably, I don't know if it's going to, I don't know if I have to make that message unique. And then this would be okay, and then this would be a value, and then we can probably just return this over here, right? Like that. And that V is, it's not defined yet. So you over here, the type async does not match threading that task, result, whatever. Are you a task? Yeah, you're a task. Okay. Two, then we have to say async dot await task. Okay. You want a partition key, huh? Okay. So let's do a couple things. Let table equal table, and then we have hell's bells. We'll just do this right here, right? We'll do that, and then we got to say well, maybe I should go ahead and finish what I started like that. All right. And so then we say let partition key equal partition. How do you spell partition? Partition key, and then that would be our request ID. All right. And hungry, hungry hippos. Okay. And so that should be straight, right? And you are. And well, this is going to, we say async dot await task, like that. And it's like, I don't know what a connection string is. You don't know what a connection string is. Yeah, that should be straight. What are you talking about, Willis? Unless you want a wrapper, that's a connection string. This takes a connection string wrapper. Okay. So we do let connection string equal connection string, and then we do a connection string like that. Okay. Oh, I like having my stuff aligned. Come here. Okay. And we do something like you over here, my friend. Okay. And I always thought I had to wrap this in the async block, but it's not complaining yet. Come here. All right. What else? What else, Willis? All right. So courier canceled exists, but it returns a. Oh yeah, I gotta return this. Hold up. So this V should now point to something, right? Yeah. So we'll just have this over here. Return OK V. No, you don't like that. Expression check to have sequence courier ID. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we say okay. And we just care about the IDs, right? And so we can do a V dot, a V pipe into sequence dot map, and then we'll just do a function that takes that. Should we really call it a V? Or should we call it a? I don't know what to call this. Let's call it V entity. All right. Then we can say entity maps to a sequence that, given a function of V, will yield a V dot, and then we should have a row key. That row key is our courier ID. Yeah. That should be straight. So I like having my bow and arrows aligned. All right. So we do something like that. Any questions or comments? Nope. Yeah. All right. So we got this courier cancel. Shift F12. Come here. And you, my friend, you are supposed to be referenced over here. And so canceled couriers, we got to change the name of that because this right here. All right. So now we have canceled couriers like that. Okay. And what we want to do is we want to take our pool and we want to, hold on, something's not right. This cancel couriers is, it says sync, right? Isn't that what we just did? Yeah, it says sync. So we need to, where am I at? Where did my stuff go? Right here? We got to do a let bang. Okay. And so that's going to give us a result. Okay, fine. Oh my God, dude. All right, so we're going to continue deep nesting our code and say match canceled couriers request ID with And if it's an error with some arbitrary message, then we return an error with that arbitrary message. Why don't you like that? Hold on. Why don't you like that? What does this thing return? It returns a. Do I have a? Let me see over here. It returns a task result. Okay. Of a courier requested option. Okay. The result is. Where did I do my match at? Something's not right. Where did I do my match? My match is right here. And so that should be fine because it's a result first and then it's an option second after the result. So then you say, okay, and then you have like cancel couriers, or we could just say canceled. And then we should be able to do something like, well, first let's indent this now, all right? Yeah. And I know it looks pretty effed up, but whatever. Yeah, it's pretty nested. All right, you guys think it's nested? It's pretty nested. All right, so we want to take our pool, and we need to have our pool. Say come here. We say let filtered pool equal, and then we should be able to have a pool that we do a sequence dot filter that will, come here, take a function of, say, v, and do what we want to. How do you want to do this? Our pool is active couriers, right? And so we want to say, how would you do this? You want to say that our active couriers, the courier ID doesn't equal the list of couriers who canceled on us, right? So how would you do that? You would say that our list of couriers that canceled on us, we have to do like sequence dot contain. Come here. Sequence dot contains, and we would say this v dot courier ID, like something like that. I think that's the way it would work. So our filtered pool would be sequence dot. It would be a not sequence dot contains. Yeah, something like that. That should. Or I could just say not at the end, and that's how I would negate it. Okay. You don't like that either. Why don't you like that? Because this function, supposed to close it right here. Is that why? No. Okay. That should, yeah, okay. So that gets resolved right there. And then we can say not like this. Okay. So then we have our filter pool. We have our request label, which is unscathed. In our, you would think that, okay, yeah, this does describe couriers nearby. So that function shouldn't care about if any of them canceled on the order. Okay. I'm okay with this. Control Shift B. And this probably, does it really need to be private? For now, I guess we can leave it private until a client provides a reason for it to be public or internal. Everything builds right now. Let's check in what we have. Edit, partial, support for filtering canceled couriers. For filtering couriers who canceled, couriers who canceled an existing order request, something like that. Okay. So that's our courier dispatch service. Now it takes that into consideration. Oh, he never text messaged me back. Did I send him a text message? Yeah, I did. All right. So now what? Let me go back to our courier service. Okay. Our courier, what's this? Okay. What's this over here? Why aren't you building? What's wrong? Oh yeah, I know why. Because this needs to be a result. So this should be like a okay, and then it would be I don't know if I could do a backwards pipe. No, you don't like that. Okay. If I say okay, and then I do something like this, and it should be straight, right? And then I should say okay, and then none. And that should be straight. Okay. And then there should be an error up here somewhere. Error. And then we have a message, and then we could just say return error, and then say message like that. I have a feeling we'll have a lot more errors like that in here. Yeah. Okay. Any messages? Nope. Okay. Same thing with these, right? So we have okay. And then this would be within parentheses some wildcard. Okay. And then we would have a error message that we would just say return error message, something like that. Okay. So it should be. Looks like we have another one down here somewhere. Hold up. Control and L. Come here. Scroll up a little bit. And we have the same thing over here when we have OK. And then we can have this within parentheses, some wildcard. And then, come here, Willis. Why we can have over here an error message and a return error message like that. Okay. And then we have this over here. Okay. And it's the same program. It's the same program like this. Okay. Yeah. And then where you got to do the same thing with exposing an error as a case, because it is a case, because we're doing out of process computation, and we say message. And we do a return. Oh, come here, Willis. We do a return. Come here, Willis. Error, return, and then error, and then message. Okay. Okay. Now what? Same thing over here. Okay, none. Okay, some described entity. And then we'll, oh, that's a PK. I said, okay, come here. And so then over here, I say pipe, and then I say error, and I say message, returns an error message like that. Okay. All right, come here. One last one supposedly is down here. And so let's go ahead and go through the motion, say error message, returns a return an error message. Okay, and then we have this okay, none, and then we have this okay within parentheses some existing requests. That's okay. Shoot, come here, like that. Okay. Control Shift B. You're gonna build. Let's see if I have any more messages. No more messages. Okay. All right. So no. We have an error. Do we have an error? Yeah, we have the error. Not sure how this is going to work. So we can do a, we're in C# code. Okay, so you got to say query result, if query results dot is okay, and query results dot result value can I get away with that? It should just be if it's okay, I think. Subscribed is what? Subscribed is it a courier tracker subscribed to tracked courier? I don't know what that means. What did I have before? Value. So this would be result value. And so that result value dot value. So what's that? That's a courier entity. But it's only a, okay, so if courier result is okay, and our query result dot result value dot value not equal null. Yeah, that probably works. Then we do that. Okay. Extend partial support. No. What did I do here? I refactored query table operation to return a result instead of an option. So that's what I did. It's 55 minutes. What can I do for another 5 minutes to satisfy my 1 hour session? GZB, if you're still there, or whoever is observing, what can I do for the next 5 minutes? Can I answer any questions? Can we do a code review and you guys tell me things that I did that were silly? What can we do for the next 5 minutes before I hop off? The next step in my next session is to write a test. So delivery request service, courier dispatch service, courier service. I will have to write a test my next session, hopefully, that will test the cancellation of that will test a courier cancellate. Start over. That will test a courier cancellation for an order, and then verify that another courier has been dispatched, with emphasis on another. Or if no couriers are available, then it has to cancel that customer's order request. The latter part, I have to write the code for. So for the courier dispatch, I think it assumes that we have a filtered pool. This filtered pool, it doesn't check to see if we even have couriers in here. Yes, it does, because I say try head. And if there's none, then it does a no couriers found. And then we do a solicit of offline couriers. That solicit offline couriers what's that about? And why am I returning an OK none? Why am I doing that? Why isn't it just OK unit? Why did I do that? Let's see. I think I found out the reason. No, okay, that's why. All right. I'm at 1 hour, so I'm out. Peace. Take care, everybody. See ya.